Hey everybody, Drew here in this 2014 Toyota Yaris. Just wanted to give you guys some really important information. So as you know, if you're subscribed, I am absurdly picky and very blessed to be quite good at buying cars that don't have drama. So I brought this one up from North Carolina and, I did my research, same as always, and I guess I've gotten to the point where I expect cars to show up and not need anything. That's, what I do for a living, and again, I'm very blessed to be good at it. Well, this one immediately tripped a check engine light. Okay, what drama do we have? And I was getting p0138 for a high oxygen sensor, and I was getting a scary code, p0607, for basically computer performance, ECM performance, control module performance, I believe is what it says on the scanner. And I reset it a couple times and it kept coming back. So that's what I do first, just to to see like what conditions trigger it and stuff. And I thought to myself, okay, I keep getting this performance code, and that is a scary code. I mean, an ECM replacement for this car is not an easy job. I mean, usually, I have never done one on a Yaris, but I've done them on Prius, and they're usually way buried in the dashboard. Mazda puts their transmission computers down on top of the transmission, which isn't horrible, but it's not fun. But anyways, they're expensive. They're like $500. And, being that I buy cars that are pretty much, close to frontline ready and don't have mechanical drama, I don't have those big profit margins. I have very slim ones because I'm buying cars that are pretty ready to go, right? So when I get stuck like this, it's not good for me. So a little bit scary. So I put it, kind of on my mental chalkboard and thought, okay, what if the oxygen sensor is so bad that it is sending crazy signals to the ECU and screwing with the ECU? So what I did was a little test. On this particular Yaris, I pulled off this air duct tube, and way underneath here is the oxygen sensor. I unplugged it, reset all the codes, and for the last 10 minutes it's been running. The engine light just came back on, and my suspicion was correct. So it came back on for p0037. So it's saying that it doesn't have any signal there. It's both pending, permanent. By the way, you need to know about permanent codes. They will not clear. You cannot clear them. You can disconnect the battery. You can reset them with a scan tool. You cannot clear them until a drive cycle proves that they are okay. So obviously I created that issue for myself, but I knew that because, see, the 0607 is permanent. Now it's not stored, it's not current, it's not pending. That means that code is no longer in this system and it has not come up. It just means that the computer is going to keep a permanent record of it having been there. And I believe 2014, which this car happens to be, is the first year that happened. The codes, they will clear themselves, and once the computer does enough drive cycles to determine that they are in fact gone, but quite unfortunately, they cannot be cleared. But so this test was successful. I have an oxygen sensor. I don't know, sometimes when a car is, traded in and it started and stopped, I mean, that's a very rich condition when a car first starts. And if that's happened a million times, I don't know if maybe it's fouled. I have no idea. But what I do know now for certain is that it was actually my oxygen sensor that was causing this much more scary code. The genuine Denso part, the number will be in the description. Don't buy it on Amazon, buy it from Rock Auto. I won't get into the politics of why, just the short story is, believe it or not, there are such thing as counterfeit car parts. Denso is the people who supplied Toyota with it, so feel free to buy that Denso for like $55 on Rock Auto, or buy the genuine one from your Toyota dealership. I will work to put both of those part numbers in the description. But the big thing is, if you're getting, p0138 and you're getting p0607 together, it's free to just unplug your oxygen sensor. And keep in mind, this is the back oxygen sensor. It monitors the catalytic converter. This one doesn't tell the engine how much gas to give versus air. The air fuel oxygen sensor is the one that's up front, and don't ever unplug that one and drive a car. This one you can. The car knows that it's running correctly, and it's giving the proper amount of air and fuel based on the one that's up front in the engine bay and closest to the engine. This is called the downstream. Bank 1 sensor 2, and disconnecting it will absolutely throw this code, but that code came up at probably literally 5 minutes after I got the immediate, 2 much more scary codes after, you know, resetting and doing my testing before. So I'm shooting this video a little late. At one point I didn't have an engine light yet, and I was hoping to shoot it for you as that code popped up, because that would have been cool to, you know, demonstrate the timeline of that. But this is absolutely a necessary test. You know, I mean, I suppose there's a tiny chance if you threw a new oxygen sensor in there, you know, and that code comes immediately back, the 0607 and the 0138, and well, now you know that you've got, you know, that in that case, most likely you do have a PCM issue, or you have something like massively wrong with your engine or your cat that's causing an oxygen sensor issue that's causing that code. But the reality is, you know, I've been around cars, been doing this way too long, and it's extremely, extremely likely that this very rogue oxygen sensor is freaking out the computer, and this test was a success. So hopefully this helps you in your diagnosis of your Toyota Yaris. It's important to keep in mind, guys, only the last year of the Yaris, only the last iteration of it was a Mazda. I've had people comment on that saying, oh, a Yaris is just a Mazda. I will open the hood on this beautiful little creation and show you that it is absolutely a Toyota. Can be very obnoxious right there. 1NZFE, that is a Toyota engine. This is a Toyota car. Very obnoxious when people that, you know, read some false information go out and preach it like it's fact. You know, against people who, you know, work professionally all day, every day for decades, you know, at the top of their field. So, you know, and I say that humbly, but at the same time, please don't put in the comments that this is a Mazda with Toyota logos. It's not. It's a Toyota. The very, very last Yaris sedan was a Mazda 2, but that is unrelated to this. This is Toyota through and through. It's a 1NZ FE engine. It's the same engine that's in a Prius C, or a second generation or a first generation Prius, just with a slightly different head. It's the engine that was in the first Yaris, the Toyota Echo, and various JDM Toyotas, as well as the Scion XA and Scion first generation XB. So again, I'm Drew, just trying to help you guys through what could feel like a nasty situation. I hope it helps for you. God bless you, and see you in the next video. Bye.